Hello, welcome to video number 5 in the Different Angles 3D Blender video tutorial series. In the previous videos we've looked at what you're presented with when Blender's default scene first opens and the elements that are placed around the screen. That was followed by a look at the Cartesian coordinate system, which is a system that locates items within the 3D space. This video will look at Blender's window system and how it can be customised or modified to create a layout that more suits the way you model. We'll get straight into the video and I'll open a default scene. Okay, we're in object mode with the default scene at the moment. We've got the top bar which runs right across the top, doesn't have any window options. And then below that we've got the 3D window, which can be changed to any window type using the window type button. The outliner, and again that's just another window. The properties window and the timeline. So we've effectively got 4 windows sitting below the top bar. So we'll look about how we can change this, make some space on the windows and add new windows to look at different views. I'm going to change the default cube and The just delete that. I'll go through this in the next video which looks at object mode, and I'll add the monkey, which is a mesh primitive that was an early joke in Blender's development. It's called Susan. I'm not going to go into what the joke is, but you can find it on the internet. But it does allow us to see front, sides, top and bottom that are different than just a cube. So we'll first of all look at cleaning up space within the 3D window. And on your left, as standard, and I would always recommend, certainly if you're new, to leave the toolbar showing, but we went through just the basics of what's in front of you in the default screen, and it's simply a matter, if you need that extra space on the screen, just pressing the T key to get rid of it, or just mouse dragging it out of the way and using the little arrow to bring it back again when it's needed. And the same goes on the right hand side of the screen with the number panel. It's not showing by default, but it's a useful panel and you'll quite often have it open. And again, just remember the shortcut key N that brings that out and back in again, or as previously, it can be just dragged with the mouse out of the way and brought back with the little arrow with the mouse. So straight away, just with the T key and the N key, you can clear up a fair amount of space to give you real estate area to work in when you're modelling and setting up scenes. The next one is the top bar of the 3D window. And that one, if you right click anywhere, any of the blank areas on the top bar, you have a few options. One is to show header or hide header. And if you hide the header, it gives you a little bit more space. And it also opens up the screen a bit. But to get it back, as with the toolbar and the number panel, you then have a little arrow at the top right of the screen that you can click on to bring it back. Or you've got the option as well as flipping the top bar to the bottom of the screen, so you can move it from the top of the screen and drop it back down to the bottom. So again, right click on there and flip to top for that. So you can take that out, but it's useful with the snap functions and various other the global alignments and various other tools. So it doesn't really save you much space. So that's the way to alter a window, and that stands true in the other windows as well. You can flip the top bar to become a bottom bar in the outliner, or you can hide it as well, take it out, and the same with the properties window. So these carry through most of the window types. And as I mentioned, you can change the window type if you want to do something else. Go into one of the other editors with the top left-hand button of the 3D view, which will become a different window type. So we'll go back into the 3D view. Now, one of the things that is quite important is being able to resize windows, and if you move your mouse over to the join between two windows, it gives you an option where the pointer will turn to two arrows and you can drag one window smaller, makes the windows alongside it larger. This is often useful if you've got long file names or long names in some of the text boxes. You can't always see them, so momentarily you can drag things out and have a look, or if you need more real estate because you've got lots of objects in the outliner, you can literally just click and drag them. You can't change two bars together without both of them moving, so you couldn't make the timeline smaller without actually splitting the window and putting something else in there. So that's the next thing that we'll look at. And to add a new window into the workspace, you split it into the existing windows. So one of the things I spoke about in the last video is setting up 3 or even 4 3D views so you can have them set into different views. And to do this, it's simply a matter of taking the mouse into one of the corners of the windows, and when you're in the corner it changes to a cross. Now if you drag it horizontally, you bring out a new window, so your 3D window gets smaller. The new window then sits alongside it. And it's as simple as that. So in this window, you can change it to a different view. So we could go into front view, either using the various presets that are on the axis indicator by clicking on the circles. You can be looking down that view. Front view is numpad 1. Side view, where you're looking down the x-axis. If you wanted to change it using shortcut keys, which is by far the quickest way because you haven't got to keep moving your mouse up to the axis widget, is numpad 3. We'll change it to the side view. Top view is numpad 7. And the opposites of those views, you just press Control. So bottom view would be numpad 7 again. Numpad Control 7 or numpad 7 for the top view and front view. So it's extremely quick and easy to split the windows. So again, if you wanted to have a front view and a side view separate to the 3D work area, you can very quickly just take your mouse up to the top corner. When it becomes a cross, rather than dragging across the screen, which would make another window spanning top to bottom, drag down, and that way you split the window into 3 windows. Now we're starting to lose a lot of the real estate area within each of the windows. So again, we can go into the top bar and get rid of the top bar, which removes that. Or I'll put the top bar back in for a moment because you've got overview overlays, and with things being crunched up, and it gives you an option to take some of the text out if you don't want it in the windows. So text info can be taken out, and you need the 3D cursor, which is useful to see where it is in the depth, and annotations can be taken out, and these are individually set with the header in each window. So if you want more space, then just right click on the header bar, don't show the headers in these windows, and the same for this one, get rid of that. Again, I'll put that back and just get rid of that text in the overlays. So get rid of that. So you've now got a view in front view at the top. If you come bring your cursor over the bottom window and go into numpad 3, you go into side view for that one, and then you've got your general work area in this one. So that's how you split windows. How you get the windows back again is to drag one window back over another one. And as I mentioned with the timeline, you can't move one window without the other windows around it being affected. So you can't join a large window over 2 windows. You've got to first of all get rid of the 2 windows down to 1 window. So in this situation again, you'd go into a corner next to the window you want to get rid of, when your mouse pointer goes to a cross, just click on the cross and drag down. You'll see a large arrow come over the screen saying that the top window is going to replace the bottom window. Let go, and you've gone down to 1. And the same to come across, go into one of the corners between the two windows. Your mouse pointer again turns to a cross. Drag horizontally from the window your mouse pointer's in into the window you want to replace. Again, you get the arrow icon and you're back effectively to the view of the default screen. So that's the main principle, and it happens for most of the windows. Very quickly you can rearrange the windows to a layout that you're more comfortable with, especially if you're doing solids modelling where you need to see 3 sides like you would in most CAD packages. There is another window option in the very top bar, and that allows you to open a new window. Blender's windows generally are non-overlapping, so you make a new window by splitting an existing window into a smaller area, but they never overlap. But the option in the top window, in the top bar, is to add a window that is a completely new window. It's still in the same Blender file, but you can see it's reproduced everything other than the top bar when you just add a new window. But this is useful if you're working and you've got multiple monitors. You can literally just drag one monitor out the way and have it on another screen. So on the other screen you can have much bigger windows for side views, top views, whatever views that you wanted to, and still have a larger work area. And the other window option in the top bar is a new main window. And again, that's in the same project file that you've got open. So windows that are in this have the same objects that are in the main window, but you can set up different views for them. But this one also gives you the file menu in the top bar as well. So you could have two complete windows open, set up differently one side to the other, but working in the same file. Hopefully you found that useful, and you'll be able to modify your own workspaces and use multiple windows when you're modelling without considering Cartesian coordinates. In the next video, we're going to look at object mode and some of the common functions that are carried out when you're in object mode. As previously said, if you want to keep up to date with when new videos are out, please like the channel. Hopefully, the more people that like it, the more people will get to see it as it's recommended more on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.